What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Now, this video here is it's a week behind the news cycle, a little over a week behind the news cycle. I made a video regarding this matter, I want to say a week ago, but at the time when I made the video, I said something in that video that I really wanted to correct. So I didn't want to put up that video knowing I had something in there that I didn't really want to say. I wanted to say it a whole nother type of way. So yet and still, I'm making a video now. This video is involving the young, extremely talented track and field star, Sha'carri Richardson. Now the world knows now that Sha'carri Richardson, who had the country marvel at her amazing track and field abilities, has recently tested positive for marijuana after a drug test, right? She failed the drug test. Richardson, who was currently a student at LSU, has now accepted a 1-month suspension, and as a result of testing positive for marijuana, she has now had her results from the U.S. Olympic trials waived or disqualified, right? Additionally, Sha'carri Richardson now forfeits any medals, points, prizes, as reported by USADA, the United States, or excuse me, USADA, the United States Anti-Doping Agency. Sha'carri tested positive at the Olympic trials last month, where the young woman established herself as a gold medal contender by winning the 100-meter race in 10.86 seconds. Right? Now, y'all know me. If y'all familiar with my channel, y'all know I'm the first person to defend our people when something is done wrong against us. When we're wrong in any type of way, where I feel like it's unjust, where we did dirty, y'all know I'm the first person that's gonna speak up for our folks. I'm gonna rap for my people regardless. You know what I mean? I'm gonna always speak up for us and use my voice on my platform, the small platform that I have, to be the voice for our people, especially when we've done all type of heinous ways. However, in this situation, I don't think that applies to this. Right? Now, I'm saying this because in the wake of Sha'carri failing the drug test for marijuana, I've seen a lot of the black community support her, which is perfectly fine and understandable. Go ahead and, you definitely support the young lady, right? But then I see a huge segment of the black community, you know what I mean, my people, saying that, like, acting as if she was done wrong, she was done foul, it's unjust, so on and so forth. Now, while we all know that marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug, it's not a PED, however, it's against the rules for Sha'carri to use marijuana, anybody to use marijuana. Marijuana usage is against the rules. And unfortunately, when you violate a rule, there are consequences for that. In everything you do, if you violate a rule, there are consequences for it. While weed is legal in a lot of different states, it's not legal in the Olympic Games. And it is what it is. That's all it is. She violated a rule, and now she has to serve the consequences for those things. And this is the thing, right? Not all rules are meant to be broken, and when you break them, you have to own up to it and then move forward. And that's exactly what Sha'carri is doing herself. Right? She said, hey, she understands what she did was wrong. She accepts the penalty, and she's now moving forward. And I think that's what the rest of my black people should do. All right? Understand she's accepting the penalty, and she's moving forward. Right? Now, I've heard her say that she used marijuana as a coping mechanism after her biological mother passed away. Right? Her mom passed away. And I will never know what that feels like. Right? Me and my mother are extremely close. So I can imagine if something were to happen to her, my world would end. I would be hurt, and I would be super, I don't know how, I would be probably depressed and so on and so forth, right? So I'm empathetic, extremely empathetic to her losing her mother, because you only get one mother in this world, so you lose that parent, hey, you lose any parent, it's going to hurt. It's going to be extremely, you're going to take it hard. However, I hope the young lady finds another way to cope with that loss. Maybe some counseling, another type of hobby, so on and so forth, and get some familial support. Now, I'm not saying that her family is not supporting her through the loss of her mother, but I'm saying I'm hoping that can substitute or take away. They can be put in the place of marijuana, right? But when I say this, I'm making this video because A lot of the black folks I know, they all outraged and all in uproar because she didn't use any PEDs. However, she broke a rule. So now she has to deal with those consequences. And you know what? And come back better than ever. And she gonna be fine. The young lady is ultra talented. That's why the world was already marveled with her in the first place. She breaking all type of records. She's gonna continue to break records because her talent is immense. She's drawing comparisons to Flojo, not only for her running attire and the long nails and so on and so forth, but because of her running abilities. She gonna be fine. She's special. You cannot deny that. When you see that young lady run, you, without no doubt in your mind, the young lady is absolutely special, extraordinary, right? But when I'm looking at this situation, I'm like, I don't see it as, oh, she's being done wrong or being done dirty. It's she did something that was against the rules, and now she has to pay for a rule violation. That's in anything you do. Me, myself, while I'm not a track and field star, I'm not competing in any sports. If my job has a policy that says, you know what, Mac, you cannot smoke weed, you can't drink or whatever, right? And I know that, and I sign off on that, and I know that that's the rules that they have. If I then in turn smoke weed, and my job decides to give me a drop on the job, and I test positive, and I test positive for marijuana, they have all rights to do whatever they want to do as a consequence. I could lose my job, and I know that. You know what I mean? So I have to take accountability for that and say, you know what, I did something wrong. You know what? So, hey, things could be in jeopardy, and understand that. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, and that's with anything. And so I'm very careful how, although I'm always, protecting of my folks when they done wrong or done dirty. I'm very careful to analyze situations to know if that situation is called for. If coverage is called for. If coverage of my black folks is called for in that situation. Now, I believe we should uplift her. You know what I mean? I believe we should encourage her to move forward and continue to do great things in track and field and in school, because she's still a student at LSU. We should encourage her, especially in the midst of her losing her mother. However, we shouldn't act as if she should be absolved of this action because she knew the rules, right? We should encourage her to, of course, and try to get some type of help or support for her in losing her mother. But I don't think we should be in all an uproar and all hollering and shouting and screaming and saying this is a travesty. I don't believe that, and I don't believe we should be doing that, because there are other young black children in this world who are going to be successful in sports and any other field of human endeavor. And if we tell them that whenever they violate a rule, that rule should be waived, and it should be just waived, and that rule should be done with, especially when it's a policy that everybody has to abide by, and it's not like an unfair policy, I think we're going to do our children a disservice by saying that, right? I have two children. I have a 10-year-old daughter and I have an 8-month-old son. And I want them to understand that no matter how talented you are, no matter how special you are, you're not above certain standards and above certain rules and regulations, right? And I think it's important for us to instill that into our babies, because they have to know, when you violate a rule, here are the consequences, here are the repercussions. And if you don't want to face those consequences and repercussions, don't violate the rules. Point blank, period. That's it. And I see people saying, it's just weed, it's just weed, it's just weed. Yeah, it's just weed, but it's not allowed in the Olympic Games. It's not allowed at all. So now, she has to be disqualified, and she has to come back again. And she'll be back, and she's going to be perfectly fine, y'all. You know what I mean? And I'm supportive of the young lady. She's a talent. I don't want Sha'carri to see this and look at it like I'm attacking her, or I'm attacking her morality or anything like that. Things happen, right? People make mistakes. It was a mistake that she made, and she's going to move forward. But I want my people to know it's not like a travesty is being done to her. She's not being violated or being wronged. She committed a wrong, and now she has to deal with those consequences, and come back from it, right? Minor setback for a major comeback. That's what we got to look at it as. I don't want us to be all up in arms, though, and acting as if like something foul has been done to her, and we got to just call the fire alarm, pull a fire alarm, and tell everybody get the hell out, and this is wrong, this is wrong, this is foul. Because at the end of the day, a rule is a rule. And I'm gonna say this too, man. When these type of certain things, when these type of things happen, you often see comparisons between our white counterparts when things happen to them or when they do something, right? Now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen Michael Phelps being brought into the conversation, the Olympic swimmer. And I believe after the Olympic Games, he was seen smoking weed from a bong. It was a picture going around and found out he was this big weed smoker. Now, from what I know, I don't know if y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he failed during the time of the Olympics. But if he did, I believe he was penalized. But I do know for a fact that he lost a ton of sponsorships after it came out that he was smoking weed and the bong picture came out and all of that. He lost a ton of sponsorships. So I believe he faced a penalty for it as well. You know what I mean? He faced infractions and so on and so forth. If he failed during the Olympic Games, if it was outside of the Olympic Games, he still faced consequences because even though he didn't violate a rule during swim play, if he didn't smoke. If he didn't smoke, that's an if. If he didn't smoke during the Olympic Games, he still faced the repercussions because he lost a ton of sponsorships from it being revealed that he smoked weed. But I don't believe he failed during the Olympic Games. But y'all correct me if I'm wrong. If he did, I believe he was penalized though. But y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But nonetheless, man, the young lady Sha'carri Richardson is extremely talented. I'm rooting for her. I want her to do well. I want her to succeed. But I want her to find another way to cope with cope with the loss of her mother besides drug usage. I don't want that to be the road that people lean on or go down when trauma hits their life. A lot of times that's what a lot of people do. When trauma hits their life, they turn to drug usage. I'm hoping that she can find another hobby. She can, get some counseling. She can get some familial support from her family to help her. You don't never get over the loss of your mother, but to help her heal from the loss of her mother. Right? But I don't think what's happening is a travesty. I don't think she's being done wrong or being done foul. And I think we got to be very careful about putting that narrative out there because we got a lot of young black babies who going to see that and think, hey, if I do something wrong, if I violate a rule, my black folks going to come in and say, hey, no, get rid of that rule. That rule shouldn't be there. And they going to think, hell, I can do I can do whatever the hell I want to and violate whatever rule I want to, even though I know that rule is in place. Because I know that people are going to cause uproar and they're going to try to, get the rule taken out of there. They're going to try to get the rule removed so I can go forward and continue doing what I want to do. And that's not the type of example I want to set for y'all young black babies out here in this world. Me as a father, me as a big brother, me as a uncle, me as a big cousin, so on and so forth. I don't want our young black babies to think that, no matter whatever rule they break, we just gonna ride it out and tell people to get rid of the rule, because that's not the case, right? And the world, I think, is doing that now because Sha'carri is so talented, she's so special that, we looking like we don't want nothing to happen to her, want her to get done dirty because it wasn't a PED. But just because it wasn't a PED doesn't mean it's excusable, it's allowable. When a rule is set in place, you can't break that rule. If you do, there shall be penalties, there shall be consequences, right? And again, if I would have failed a drug test at work and if I pop dirty, y'all gonna say, why the hell would that boy jeopardize that bag? Why would he do that? Despite whatever personal situation that I have going on in my life, y'all would look at me and say, why the hell would Mac do that? Why would he jeopardize that bag? You know what I mean? Why would he put himself in that situation? He know the rules. Why would he smoke weed? Why would he do that? That's silly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all would say that about me, right? So I don't want people to call the young woman Sha'carri dumb or nothing like that, because she's not. But she made a mistake, right? And she's paying for that mistake now. And the thing about it is, a lot of people in our community, my black folks, a lot of us are uproared, but she's accepting of it. She understands it. She's like, look, I'm accepting what I did was wrong. I knew the rules. I violated the rules. And now I'm gonna pay for the consequences. It's a learning opportunity, and she gonna move forward. And I think that's what we should do as well, right? Now, if it was something where she was done wrong or something pointed to some type of racial discrepancy, some type of thing was going on with I'm not one of those people that oh, don't bring race into it. I'm not one of the people that call black folks race baiters or none of that shit, because I know a lot of people that call black folks race baiters are people who get upset for black folks calling out racism that they benefit from, right? So I'm never gonna say that. I'm never gonna act like never race is never the play with any situation with black folks, because a lot of times it is. Race does play a big part in the way the world is ran, and the way the United States is ran, for sure, for damn sure, and it's been that way for a while. But in this case, race is not the factor in it. It's just she violated the rule. You know what I mean? And when you become to the forefront of America, to the forefront of the world, like Sha'carri did after she broke all those records, you know, people are held to a high standard. But in this case, she's being held to the same standard as every other Olympic runner, Olympic sprinter. She's being held to the same standards. If one of those individuals were to pop dirty, they will be have to face consequences as well. They would be disqualified also. So, you know, I don't get why everybody is just so enraged and so pissed off and acting as if like, you know, this young woman is just being just wrong completely, when she made a mistake. She committed a wrong, and now she has to deal with those consequences. But nonetheless, man, I'm empathetic for her losing her mother. You know, but the Olympic trials does not, unfortunately, they don't take into play or take into consideration extenuating circumstances or special circumstances where a person may be using a drug to cope and so on and so forth. They look at it as black and white. Hey, we have these rules here. You violated these rules, and now it is what it is. These are the penalties that you shall face. But I think we're doing our kids a disservice by trying to absolve Sha'carri out of the whole situation completely and calling for the rule to be changed. And me personally, I know people saying it's just weed or whatever. Look, I'm going to tell y'all right now. My dad was a long time marijuana smoker. You know, I had a lot of people in my family that's a marijuana smoker and all of that. But I don't, look, she's a young woman. She's trying to get to where she got to go in life. She's trying to reach her main goal. I'm not a big advocate of just everybody just walking around here being big drug users. That's just me. Now, this may be the very first time that the young woman may have indulged in weed or whatever. And, hey, even if it wasn't the first time, hey, your prerogative, do what you want to do. But you got to know that there are consequences for these actions, you know. And she knows it now. And I believe she's going to be fine. She's going to come back. And I don't think she's going to have this problem no more. You know, I think she's going to be right on the straight and narrow. And she's going to get the job done. And she's going to keep going and setting records and breaking records and breaking records and breaking records. And she's going to be all good, man. That's my opinion, y'all. Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all let me know what y'all think too in the comment section. Donate to the channel. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Y'all keep subscribing. Hit the like button as well. Peace.